Just remember, that isn't about me. It's about my mother, about growing up with her. Just remember that.
Basic mother.
Mother and I took a trip to Taiwan together, my birthplace and hers. I thought it would make us closer, help me understand her better, but the fights got bigger, more intense, and now we don't speak to each other. I don't know when I started calling her mother. It was a conscious decision, though, to go from the mama, what all Asian daughters call their mothers, to the more formal mother, I guess. No, I know I was ashamed of her. The way she embarrassed me, calling out to me from the other end of the Kmart store, yelling at the top of her lungs. Everyone in Taiwan yells. I understand that. At least now. Other mothers were reserved, educated, run TPD meetings, bake cookies. I pronounced frog hawk because my mother couldn't say F's very well. English wasn't my first language, but then I've forgotten my first language. My mother never read to me because she didn't know how to read or write. What's different? Half Taiwanese. It was always an isolating thing to tell my friends. Stranger than all the other fairy tales other mothers told their kids. Hey, sorry. There once was a girl who lived in a poor village during a time of drought. One day, while gathering bundles of the stakes for firewood, she heard someone sing high in the mountains. She followed the sound and discovered a beautiful woman singing near the edge of the lake. "I'm the daughter of the Dragon King," she said. The pleasant girl sat beside the young singer and thought of her village and its need for water. "My father keeps the key to the gates of this lake. If you sing with me, perhaps, then the gates might open."
It's not your turn, Mei Mei. It's not your turn. It's not your turn. Mei Mei, it's not your turn. It's not your turn, Mei Mei.
In Taiwanese, Mei Mei means little sister. It is a term of endearment for any little girl. But there are no pictures of my mother as a little girl. No baby pictures, no pictures at all until she was grown up. She was born in 1932, right before World War II, sold by her parents. Not just once, but twice did work for other people. Her step-parents, she called them.
Last time you were in Taiwan?
I told you 25 years. Why do you want me to repeat?
Try to pretend you haven't told me anything. Just try to pretend that. It will make it a lot easier. So how come they sold you?
I don't know. They cannot take care of me.
Was it really sold or was it just adopted?
They say they sold.
For how much?
In Japanese, 20 yen.
20 yen?
I know, hardly any money.
How would you feel?
I don't have any feeling. I don't have a feel.
I don't have any feelings.
Just like I don't care.
I don't care at all.
Nothing I can do.
There's nothing I can do about it. I'm the only human being on this earth who understands everything my mother says in English. The subtitles, the undertones, the quotation marks that underline her words. People may get every other word, but I hear everything. They may think she's cute when she's angry, sweet when she's manipulative, simple when she's truly devastated, but I understand everything. Her words, that is. Why are your fingers so crooked? Your fingers so crooked. I asked her that once. Her hands are strong and beautiful with long fingernails, but she can never completely strengthen her fingers.
Meeting Tower 21.
My real parents saw me. They were poor. I was 2 years old in Chinese age, 1 year old in American time. I was sold twice. Twice I was sold. The first parents were not unkind, were not loving, were not unkind. Again, I was sold. Simbua in Taiwanese. Simbua, a daughter to daughter-in-law. So to marry the son in the family. I was 12.
幸福啊，幸福啊，我的可你的幸福，安静我的体给幸福啊。
They sold her. She's never felt secure, never loved it, never happy. She never showed the way I saw on TV with American families, with words, with physical affection. The only thing I wanted to hear from her was, "Honey, you're so beautiful. I'm proud of you." I never heard those words. No one said those words to her when she was grown up. And of course, I could never say those words to her. And I could never show the love in the ways that matters to her. With a sense of devotion, to act as the dutiful Taiwanese daughter, that was not part of me.
上不高级，上不高级，下不高级。
She beat me if the clothes were not clean. She beat me. Still chopsticks. Himbachi chopstick, she put my hand in between them and squeezed and squeezed. My fingers. Why are my fingers so crooked?
神啊，我尽头那真的我。
I don't have a feel. Just like I don't care. Nothing I can do.
When I was grown up, I used to listen. Actually, I used to not listen to my mother's Taiwanese opera records. The noises filled the house. It was an embarrassing sound, especially when she sang alone. The banging on gongs, the clenching of instruments really irritated me. Quang quang, that's what Daddy called it. Quang quang? I used to think it was a Taiwanese word for opera, but it means loud noises, disruptions. Loud noises? There was always the sound of battles in my house, the clash of cultures between my Taiwanese mother and my Oklahoma country boy father is not quiet. Later, my mother and I would clash, would fight.
taught the Chinese. You don't understand. We taught the Taiwanese. You don't understand.
And I came to understand that the clenching of the opera was not just clenching, it was the sound of battle, a call for warriors to come to fight.
Buddha was taking me to heaven, and I see that it's different people over there. No have house. I don't see any tree. You know, the sky beautiful, but they don't see floor elder. They stand out there. They don't fall. They just look all smoky, you know, and all different color people. I didn't want to come back, but they say, you should come back. It's not time yet.
She used to talk about Buddha, the lady Buddha, the lady Buddha. Her name was Kuan Yin. She sounded beautiful, with long hair parted up high, dressed in white, the lady Buddha. She sounds so beautiful. There was war with a bamboo stake. My mother, my older brother. I carried bundles on my back. I washed the clothes. I cooked. I scrubbed the floors. I kept the fly burning inside the house. There was war.
Did you see any bodies?
You always see somebody hanging, a head on a telephone wire.
You always?
Yes, you always see hanging on a head of a telephone wire or hanging death. They got machine gun. They have got 15-kilo bomb. I think B-25, B-29. I always forget one a machine gun, one's a 15-kilo bomb.
She made me eat everything on my plate. Whether I liked it or not, whether I was hungry or not, if I refused it, she told me war stories. How when she was 10 years old, she had to wash the maggots away from the rice before cooking it. That really made me want to eat my dinner. When it was bad, we ran to the mountains, ran to the heat, so little food. I ate slowly. I ate after they ate. Rice, some vegetables, no meat. When the good was gone, we came down from the mountains to get more food. I remember planes shooting at us. The American planes we shoot at the Japanese, would shoot at us as we ran, shooting at us. There was a rich family, she said, who had a bomb shelter underground. She begged them to let her in.
维努尼亚，拜托，再多了，拜托你。 开门啊，拜托拜托，好冷气啊！
Only room for us.
冇嘢啦，冇嘢啦。
I hit my hands against the door. I played B29, B25, or B29. I ran. Behind me, an explosion. The family's shelter. I wouldn't look. I didn't look. I knew. I had seen arms and legs hanging before, on telephone wires, on electric poles. I had seen pieces of bodies before. I knew. I ran. Buddha gave me power.
Guani Pusa, you understand? Guani Pusa, that's her name. Guani Pusa. We talking to Chinese. You don't understand. Talking to Taiwanese. You don't understand. It's called 妙善公司. You understand?
No, but you can tell me about it.
We talking to Chinese. You don't understand. Talking to Taiwanese. You don't understand.
I was heading, and Buddha stopped me. Buddha gave me power. She said, "It's not your time yet."
I was 13 and 14. I tried suicide 3 times.
How?
Tried to hand.
You tried to hurt yourself
Yeah,
3 times?
yeah.
How come?
Because I don't want to live. That's why we come. Loving, happy to live for.
No, that's terrible. A terrible thing to do too.
And Buddha come and stop me. Buddha gave me pause.
How did she stop you?
I don't know how to explain it. She come down here.
Did she actually tie a rope up?
Yeah. And Buddha come down and turn me loose.
You were hanging,
Yeah.
and she turned you loose?
Buddha come down and stop me.
Did she say anything, do anything?
Yeah.
What did she say?
She told me that I have a long way to go. That's why I got power for Buddha. Guanyin.
The first time I tried to kill myself, I was 13 years old. I tied a sheet to the ceiling in a circle. I put my head in a circle. I was heading, and Buddha stopped me. I was heading, and the Buddha stopped me. Buddha gave me power. She said, "It's not your time yet." But my life was terrible. I tried to hurt myself 3 times, and each time, Buddha stopped me. Then I would fall asleep and dream of her. Guanyin Pusa.
一共掉来，一共掉来，真的是高兴。
So beautiful. Guanyin Pusa.
So beautiful, so beautiful. 一共掉来，妹妹真的是，真的是，真的是，真的是。
She took me to heaven. I flew up and up. My feet never touched the ground. Her feet never touched the ground. And I saw heaven.
So beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful.
All different colors of people. No house, no trees. just beautiful clothes. I didn't want to go back. But she said I had to. I didn't want to go back, but she said it wasn't my time yet.
Run top, run top, run top, run top alone, Mei Mei, run top.
So how does Buddha talk to you?
Every time that I sleep and have a dream, take me someplace, teach me how to fly.
Genesis, 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 Genesis.
Did she say anything, do anything?
Yeah,
What did she say?
she told me that I have a long way to go. That's why I got power for Buddha. Guan
Run, run, run away, run alone, run.
After the war in 1945, there was even more poverty, even less food. Girls there just didn't leave their families, but she did. I had to admire her guts. I remember a very young woman when I was 5 who once disrupted a whole Taiwanese police station because someone stole her suitcase. God, the way she thought. People were hanging out the window to watch my mother fighting the police. Later on, I adopted the fierceness when we fought together, yet I protected her from the people who didn't understand her, made fun of her accents, tried to treat her as a simple child when she was not. I had and still have this fierceness loyal to my mama. 15 years old, I could not feel hate, could not feel hurt, could not feel. Run away, must run away. 逃走，一定要逃走。They wanted to send me away to be a prostitute and never went to school. Always work, always must work. Never learned to speak Chinese, to read and write. Once I was sick with malaria from a mosquito bite. Sick, so sick, I nearly died. Sick, so sick, but they would not spend money for a daughter.
Run, stop, run away, run alone, run, stop.
In Taiwan, cemeteries are built on hills and from a distance. The tombstones resemble eyes and mouths, doorways from this world into the underworld.
passing the cemetery at midnight. I don't see the girl's face, but her hair, real long, sit on top of the stone. This you don't want to see. You shouldn't not to see. It's kill you. You never know.
Nighttime. There are ghosts at nighttime. I walked 6 hours in the dark, no lights. You must not bother ghosts in the nighttime if you see one. It would be in the cemetery. A beautiful one with long black hair that falls to the ground. Do not bother her. She is a ghost. If she turns to look at you, her tongue will roll down from her mouth. You will die in fear. Do not bother a ghost. I started doing housework when I was 7 years old. I cooked it and did dishes. I wasn't careful, so I broke things. Mother screamed at me in Taiwanese and then in English, spanked me, scared me. These are times I truly thought she was insane. She's the only person who could totally incense me. as a teenager. I remember her screaming at me about something, and I was wishing a knife in 4 minutes, I imagined. But I stopped it myself. It scared me that I'd even thought such a thing. Maybe Buddha was there for her that night too. Later on, I learned that her outbursts were a result of her not being able to communicate her frustration at their foreign language, this foreign country. Hoping to leave to reach American life, she'd always have to work, still works, and she wanted a daughter who would be her partner, who would help her run that Chinese restaurant of her dreams. Someone who could read and write, who could keep the books, who could speak and be taken seriously. And that was never me. Mei Mei, it's not your time yet. It's not your time yet. The lady looked at me. She asked if I would work for her as a housemaid. If I would work, she would pay me. She would pay me my train ticket to Taipei. She would pay me. Buddha was there that night. Buddha, the woman who paid my train ticket, and I went with her. Buddha was there with me at the night. She said, Mei Mei, it's not your time yet. Mei Mei, it's not your time yet.
I want Buddha to take me to heaven. I didn't want to come back. She told me it's not my time yet, and my time will come back to my home.
I'm sorry. So two girls sang together at the edge of the great mountain lake. The Dragon King's daughter and the pleasant girl from the village. The music was so lovely. The gates to the lake opened, slowly releasing the much-needed water to the villagers. The two girls looked at each other and laughed. They had saved the village, but they had also become friends.
I didn't know my mother didn't care of me.
You must hate her.
I don't hate her.
I don't hate her. I can't talk to her. I never understand her. The love is there because it has to be. She's my mother, I wish. What? That she would be happy grown up. That somehow she didn't pass on her desperation, her sadness, her legacy to her selfish American daughter. I wish. Maybe then we might have been friends. The one time we laughed together the hardest on our trip to Taiwan, I had to tell the upstairs neighbors to be quiet, so I spoke in a broken combination of Chinese and sound effects.
Yeah, what was I supposed to say? I know what you're saying. Who's out there? She thought it was the funniest thing she would ever heard.
请你不要吵了。
对对，不要吵了。
The laughter lasted longer than any bad memory I ever held onto.
Mei Mei, a Doctor song, was written, produced, and designed by Dmea Roberts. Music composition and engineering by David Pachi, with additional music by Terry Gunn, technical assistant by Ron Roy. Feature voices were Dee Roberts, Julianne Roberts, Lucinda Wong, and Mei Jing, with songs by the Children Choir. Mei Mei mixed at WJHU-FM, Johns Hopkins University. Funding was provided by the National Endowment for the Arts, the Oregon Arts Commission, and Soundprint.